God's love is enough. Love is enough. God's 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 love is enough. Trying to find a way to escape all the pressure I feel growing inside of me, because I'm far away from you, knowing that you are my source, so I gotta find my way. I see no light in front of me. I come to the conclusion that you are the eyes that see past all confusion to a place called sanity. You take my hand, I'm free. You never leave me, nor forsake me, and in all my ways to acknowledge you, and then you'll direct my path if I would keep my mind on you. You said you will keep me, you'll keep me, please keep me, please keep me, Lord.
loves you. Truly, the real you loves you. Truly, the real you loves you. Truly, the real you loves you. Truly.
All right. All right. You gonna come in the picture?
You move my chair.
Yeah.
You move my chair.
I moved her cheese. Y'all, there's a book out there called Who Moved My Cheese? Oliver moved her chair. Good afternoon, good evening, everyone, and welcome to episode 28 of Truly Live. My name is Oliver Blue, and this is my beautiful wife and friend and housemate. And her name is,
Yaulanda.
and we are the OK Blues, and we are so excited that you guys are here with us tonight. And we have created some very good content for tonight's show. And what's that smile for?
Because I was on set, had everything in place, and you moved my chair anyway.
I moved your
You
chair.
moved my chair anyway.
Technology. Wow. Well, hello, Naomi, and welcome.
And he doesn't have my chats up. He doesn't have my comments up.
Comments are up.
No, I remember I told you I already did that. See, nothing's happening. I told you.
Okay. All right. So we might need to pivot. Wow. Okay. Okay, we may have to move the computer over to you then. Well, again, a little technologically challenged tonight, but it's going to be okay because everything is copacetic. And like to also welcome our other patrons into the space tonight. Diane and her mother, Mary, is also viewing the broadcast tonight.
Mrs. Harrison.
Miss Harrison,
Miss
yes.
Harrison, so good to see you.
And
I mean, so glad to have you on.
glad to
since I didn't
have you
see her.
on tonight. And we are so excited to be here. It's been a week.
There's our VIP patrons, Bob and Carol. They say happy love day to all. Actually, happy love day every day. You're
Yes.
exactly right about
How you
that.
doing, Carol and Bob? And we also have the we also have Felicia on with us tonight. Well, hello, Felicia. glad that you are here with us
So
and
I can't
sharing in this
respond.
hour. Yeah, it's not
I can't
no
respond.
juice there.
I don't know what's going on.
Okay. Well, I know what's going
It was work.
on. That's the
This guy.
that's the
This
that's the
guy.
keyboard to your that's the
See?
keyboard to your computer, not to mine.
So I was sitting here waiting, trying to type in my
All
greeting.
right. Well, we got I got a special surprise for you tonight,
Okay.
and I'll let you look up on the board there, and you'll see who has just come into this space. Need to move your mouse a little bit.
Oh, hello, Ruby.
Our
Wow, Ruby
friend
and
Ruby,
Calvin.
yes,
Wow, thank you guys for
Ruby and
joining
Calvin has
us.
joined us
How
tonight.
neat.
Yes, it is going to be a party tonight.
All right. Gonna have a funky good time.
Yeah.
That was good music.
Am I going to be able to get your complete body in the screen? Or you don't want to get any closer to me?
I'll be close.
You don't want to move the chair?
Already did.
Okay.
You want to move it again?
Just to be close
Oh,
to you,
he's singing again already, guys.
girl.
Let me move the chair. Let me move the chair again.
Y'all remember that song? Sugar, sugar, yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. All
Yes,
right.
I want you close to me.
I'm here.
Yeah,
I
she's
am
here.
here.
She's here. The blues are here, and all of our wonderful viewers and patrons are here, and friends of new. We don't have friends of old. And we're so excited that you've come into this space with us. And if you're here for the first time and wondering who is these two uh, country bumpkins in these lime green, teal green, what shade of green we got on tonight?
Well, I don't know.
Well, whatever the shade is, if you're wondering who we are, well, you got this is what you get when you take a project kid out of the projects, and you marry them up with a farm girl. And what you get when you cross those two together, you get truly live. And a whole lot of fun and a whole lot of excitement.
Oh, boy.
And tonight, we like thank you for choosing Truly Live as your source of information, inspiration, transformation, and empowerment. That is who we are. And we've been married, what, 31 years?
31.
So this is what you get when you come to True Live. You get
I
Yolanda.
I need more volume.
You get Yaulanda and Oliver. You get 31 years of marriage, parents and grandparents. We're honored to have close relationships with some phenomenal people. And we have some close relationships with some
and we have
phenomenal
great
people.
friends.
And
Yes,
have great
yes,
friends.
Yes, yes.
And we're certified transformational coaches, conference speakers, spiritual teachers, and what else are we?
We're everything in on a slice of toast. How about
Everything that we need to be.
Yeah.
And we also are the co-founders of Truly OB LLC, which is a personal and professional principle-centered development company that helps others gain clarity about their true identity, in which we call the
real you?
The real you.
The real you.
We share timeless content, universal principles, transformational practices, and community access with others who are committed to experiencing a deeper, more meaningful life. We also share a decade of experience from a journey together.
From our journey together.
And we've been journeying together for what? Almost 32.
Well, okay, so almost 30, 31 and a half. We're very close.
Yeah, and for a little icing on the cake, we are a dance-loving, fun-loving couple. We have turned out many dance floors.
Yes, we have.
I mean, we've just like went on the dance floor at 9, came off at 12, and everything on our body was wet.
I think we came off at 2.
At 2.
Yeah, come on. If you're going to tell it,
tell it all. Fun loving, and we have leaned heavily into joy and laughter, as you can see, to get past some of the challenging moments in our life. What have you done to get past some of your challenging moments? If you'd like to share with us, just put it in the chats, comments. Our why, in other words, why are we here? You want to share, Bates?
We want others to know that their life has deep meaning and good purpose.
Yes.
and we help people to consider and pursue the results that matter to them so that they live with purposed attention.
Our passion is to help those to remain what? Outside, unknowing, unawakened, and in need of a witness to the truth.
To the truth that is true always.
And the truth that is true always. There's a truth, and then there's a truth that's what? True always. That's the real truth. And I call that the real truth.
So our passion is sharing a powerful message with a powerful people, because that's who we are.
And that's who you are.
Yeah.
And thank you for joining us.
Yes, yes, yes.
So we always like to give a shout out to, people that, are doing great things, and or, whatever's going on during the previous week. And first of all, we always like to start out by acknowledging our patrons. You may ask, what is a patron?
I'm going to put a comment up from our one of our VIP patrons.
Okay, go ahead, right ahead.
Bob and Carol, she said it's the matching OK Blues in their shirts.
Yeah.
She said she loves my top, Yolanda. Oliver got this one for me. It's an early Valentine's gift.
Oh, is it? You said that. I just, it's just a gift, I was out and I saw something that I thought might look lovely on you.
Well,
does it look lovely on her?
Gosh, you need to stop.
Does it look lovely on her? I thought it looked lovely on the rack, and I thought it looked even lovelier on you.
It's very pretty. And I wore my earrings that my dear friend, they're a perfect match for my earrings that my dear friend Pearl gave me.
See, I've been studying her for 31 plus years, and I know she liked things that move.
Yeah,
she liked things that move and not real form fitting, but she liked for the wind to blow into her apparel.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Diane said so here's another one of our patrons. Diane
what
said,
did Diane say?
She says, how sweet, looks lovely. Thank you.
Thank
Carol
you,
says
Diane.
Looks lovely too. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Diane.
Let me just go ahead and pat him. So he seems to be fishing,
man. I'm working on something. Come on now.
All right.
Come on, working on something.
Okay.
Well, anyway, you may ask, who's a patron? Well, we'll talk about that towards the end of the show, and share with you how you could become a patron of Truly Live. But we also like to start out tonight by giving a shout out or a shout of congratulations to the Cincinnati Bengals and the Los Angeles Rams for representing their respective conferences in Super Bowl 56. So this is the 56th Super Bowl that is being played on tomorrow, and I'm sure all of you are aware of that. And the game is going to be played at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. So all the way on the other side of the U.S., on the other coast, they're going to be Super Bowling it tomorrow, and probably going to be one of the largest, most viewed Super Bowl.
And how do you know that?
Because if you look at how things unfolded with the playoffs, each game, how each game was so nail biting, went down to the end.
It's
been some great
football,
even though your team may not have been in there. Hint. But I mean, the game.
We were actually cheering with you for your team.
Yes,
you know who you are.
Yes, we're not gonna call its name. But anyway, it's been great football if you're a football fan leading up to the Super Bowl. So I think that's going to create such a buzz. The teams are equally matched, and so and if you're not a Bengal fan or a Ram fan, then you want to come because it's going to be a great game.
Yeah.
And so if you would like to share, if you have a prediction, you can put that in the chat also.
If you'd like to put you would like to see win the Super Bowl, go ahead and place that in the comments.
Yeah.
Hello, Sandra. She has joined us. Sandra Ortez is with us.
Hey, Sandra. Always great to have you with us. And we all
finish our shout out.
Yeah, we always like to give a shout out to my mother.
Hi, Grandma Blue.
We call her Grandma Blue. It's my mother and it's Yolanda's mother.
It's my mom. She's my mom in love, and
she's
I love
a mom
her
in
dearly.
love, and they are just like best buds. And but I'm number one with my mama.
Okay.
Ain't that right, Mama?
Okay.
And I also like to shout out to her dad, and we call him Papa. And we thank you, Papa, for this gift over here. I remember the day I had to go and sit in your front room.
didn't have to. You chose to.
I didn't have to, but
that
I was doing
your choice.
I was doing the honorable thing.
Yeah, it was.
So
it
I
was.
went to her home, and because I proposed to marry her before I met the parents.
Yes.
So that's just how I operate.
Well, actually, you had met them.
I did.
You met them once. You met them when I was joining First Baptist. They came.
Right,
And so
right.
you met
Well,
them
right,
briefly.
right.
Just,
But,
and that was when I met you, which was briefly.
right,
Yeah.
right. But I'm talking about the deal when the
The-
deal went down. So I remember sitting in the front room. Her dad was like 6'2", 6'3". He was about 250, 280 at the time.
He wasn't 280, about 250.
He's a huge guy,
He was a
and
big
I'm
guy.
just, I'm 100 pounds,
You're more than 100 pounds.
And
You're like 145.
yeah, but I didn't stutter. I said, I
No.
come to get your blessing. I'm gonna take your daughter away
You
out
did
of your.
not say
I
that.
said, I'm gonna take your daughter out of your hands once and for all.
You did not say
And
that.
I promise to keep her
You did not
and to
say
honor and adore her all the days of her life. And I've kept that promise.
You did not say that.
I don't know, remember what I said.
I do.
I know I came out of there alive and with the prize. All right.
Okay, guys. I don't know what in the world is going on.
Well,
Okay, so Bob and Carol they're going for the Bengals. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
wow. So we got to give a special shout out to Ruby and Calvin.
Absolutely.
And
Thank you guys so much
these
for
are
joining
friends
us.
of ours, and they have just supported us since we've known them. Most beautiful people. I mean, some of the most beautiful human beings on the
So
planet.
we've been knowing them about 22 years. We've been here
Yes,
22 years.
yes.
Yeah.
I think
So
we met them in 1999, 1999. We met them in 1999. It was 1999.
okay. Okay.
And Zenobia,
Zenobia in this. Well,
yeah.
hello, Zenobia.
that's a fellow Ram, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
My goodness. Thank you
Very
for
good to-
joining.
She said we bridged together.
Well,
Outstanding.
Thank you. Yes. Oh, you're getting into our message tonight.
Yes, yes.
Bridging. Wow. Well, thank you all for being here. As you can see, we like to have a lot of fun. We don't just say we're fun loving. We do have a lot of fun.
I never know what he's gonna do or what he's gonna say, people.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So we're gonna move to our next segment, which we always like to start out anything that we do, any endeavor, by setting the vibration or the atmosphere, and the best way to do that and to shift energy to create the space that we want. It's like two lovers, before they set the mood.
Oh
They
my
put on music. They may the table may be set. They're setting the mood. Come on now. So gratitude is the easiest way to set the mood. It moves energy.
So let me ask you guys, please put in the comments what you're happy and grateful for, and we'll read a few of those.
Yes.
After Oliver, I don't know what he's going to be doing now. I'm going to grab something to, I might.
Yes.
I might have to fan myself. I don't know what he's going to do here.
Share with us something that you are happy and grateful for. And we've always, again, used gratitude to shift the energy, move energy into a place of expansion.
Yes.
We like to set the atmosphere for growth and expansion.
Yes.
Openness, possibilities. In other words, we welcome all of the universal blessings that are here to be bestowed upon us. So we kind of set in the atmosphere. You guys and gals know what I mean when I talk about setting the atmosphere. Come on now, we're all adults in the room. So we define gratitude as simply being in a present state of thankfulness, appreciation, and kindness. And it always brings us to the present. So we got some more patrons coming in with us.
Outstanding. Oh, there's There's our patron. There's Jill. Dr. Jill's with us in the house.
Dr.
Hello.
Jill is in the house.
And Sandra said she's happy and grateful for being awakened. Outstanding. Naomi said she's grateful for being with and loving people. Being with and
Yes.
loving people. That's a good one too.
Yes.
Yes. What are you happy and grateful for, Oliver?
Well, I think collectively we both are happy and grateful now that that we all are making intentional decisions in the interest of our growth.
Absolutely.
All of us.
Absolutely.
And that is what life is all about. Allowing that which is seeking to unfold in our life to come forward.
Naomi says she's happy and grateful for you.
Thank you, Naomi. She's becoming one of my favorite people too.
Yes.
Yes.
And Diane says she's happy and grateful for Echo. Oh, she says she echoes Naomi. So she's grateful for you too.
Oh,
so we've
thank
got
you.
a little study that's going on that we're all participating in.
Yes.
So,
well, I don't know how your week has gone, but let me give you a little insight in how Yolanda's and our week has gone. Let's see if I can do this.
okay. Okay.
This is kind of how our week has gone. She was pretty busy this week.
Yeah, I was.
With appointments with her dad. So we was like,
put my comments back there.
We were like
we were actually like ships
passing in the day and the night. But it all worked out, right?
It
all worked out.
It
and when
does.
7 o'clock on Friday night came, we were both you know that song we used to sing.
I was actually here all day.
You was here all day today. So she was actually the first day. I think she was here all day today. And so we got here at 7. We say not good morning, but good. Yeah, then what song we used to sing? Good morning to you. Good morning to you. We're all in our places. We're sunshine in faces. With bright shining faces. And this is the way we start our new day. All right.
Okay, that's song number 2, people.
Yes.
Song number 2. Okay.
So thank you guys for being here. And we're going to go to our next segment. And we also, we are very into encouragement and inspiration. We've always inspired, encouraged. We always had this mentoring, nurturing vibe going with Yaulanda and I. And so we had to make that to be a part of our show. And so we have a whole segment we call inspiration and encouragement. And what we do is we look around the world of those that have made great contributions to the world, and those
or those who've been an inspiration, and those who've been encouraging.
Absolutely. And so each week we go out and we find a quote.
A lot of these quotes I actually have on my phone. I keep them I use them in my calendar.
Yes.
And so when things get kind of hectic, there are a lot of things that I use to bring me back to center.
Yes, exactly. That's what quotes or statements of encouragement should do, is to help bring us back to center. And
one of my favorites is look for the good in everything.
Look for the good in everything. That's right.
Look for the good in everything.
Our favorite quote is, truly, the real you loves you because
the real you is
love. Yeah, that's our favorite quote.
That's an Oliver and Yaulanda Blue quote, guys.
Whether people know it or not, we know it, that everyone is born of love.
Yes.
It says that everyone that is born of God is born of love, right? So truly the real you loves you because the real you is love.
That was the scripture too.
That's the scripture.
Beloved, let us
love
one another.
Let us love one another, because for everyone that loveth is what?
Everyone who knoweth God. Loveth God, knoweth God. Then it says, he that loveth not, know not God. But God is love. So, beloved, let us love one another.
That's right.
1 John 4, 7, and 8. It's a song,
1 John 4, 7, and 8. That's right.
We're going to sing it? No. Thank you.
So our quote for today, tonight, is taken from one of my favorite books If I name it, you'd probably say, "Yeah, I'm familiar with that book." And if you don't have it in your library, it'll be a good book to have, a good book to read first before you put it up on the shelf. And it's from the book Think and Grow Rich. And this quote comes out of that book, which was written by Napoleon Hill. And it says, "First comes thought, then organization of that thought into ideas and plans, then transformation of those plans into reality." And that's by Napoleon Hill. And that is a really good segue into our main event tonight, which we call Truly Life Lessons. And each week we dig down and deep into our treasure chests of transformational principles. And a lot of these come from our coaching, our coaching programs and principles that we teach. We share.
These are principles that we live. Actually, I mean that we don't just teach them. This is things that we do, so we know that they work.
Absolutely. We practice these principles, and when we say principle, we mean that it is universal. Universal means that it is not subject to time, space, or any of the forms here. People, places, things, they work all the time. They are no respecter of person. They're just a respecter of the person that honors the principles. Or it's like law, universal law, the law of gravity. It works. It will honor those who honor it. Yes. For those that don't honor the law of gravity, they may be like Humpty Dumpty.
So last week you were talking about that you were like, who discovered the law of lift? And I was like, that was the same guy that it was Newton.
Oh, was it?
Yes,
okay.
Yes,
I thought it was the guys that
you said the Wright brothers
flew those.
The planes.
I thought they were tin planes. You told me they were paper or no,
they were
wooden airplanes. I didn't realize that. Oh my God, I'd have never got on. I don't like getting on them tin cans, let alone. Why could I crawl in a chicken coop?
Oh boy. Okay, guys.
Never will I get in a plane made of oak.
Oh my goodness. I don't know what it was. Well, I don't know about that, but
wow. Hello, Tracy Williams. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Tracy.
Giving you a shout out. Tracy is my home girl, and I love Tracy so much because she does so much in the community. She is a huge influence in the Scotland County area where I grew up, and she does great work out in the community with the seniors, with the women, with the kids. I mean, every year she's got some different project going.
Tracy said, "You're my family."
Where she's blessing the community, yes. And I just thank you so much, and I will always support what you're doing, Tracy.
We appreciate your service.
Yes.
So thank you so much.
And we love watching your family. Yeah. They're so comical.
They are.
Y'all have so much fun. We love it. But anyway, so moving into our lesson for tonight.
So we're continuing the theme. We've been doing wellness, well-being. That was in January and February.
Yes.
And we've already talked about a number of different things, but now we're at the point where we're talking about bridging, going from blueprinting, which is when we're designing the plans for our dream and our vision. We're getting very, very clear and specific. We're painting pictures because pictures, the words are, we speak words, but they actually paint pictures. So we did that, and we realized that where we are and where we want to be, that there's a gap. And so we're talking about bridging that gap.
Yes. And it is just one of the most natural, it's one of the most natural parts of a journey of building.
Yes.
You could look in the natural, and if you know anything about constructions and building homes, we know that, first of all, some person or couple has an idea or a dream about a dream home or just about a home in general. And so that idea has now to be transferred over to the builder, right? Because you just can't go to the builder and say, build me a home,
Build me a house.
build me a house. Just like you can't just go to the universe and say, I like to have a mate. Well, what kind of mate? you know. But anyway, so that person or that couple goes to the builder and say, we would like a house. And the question the builder going to say is, what would you love the house to be like? Or what would you love to be in the house? And so as they share their dreams to the builder, he takes their ideas and he puts it on paper. And when he finally get all the details, I mean, every detail.
So actually, the couple would go to an architect first.
An architect, yeah.
for designing plans, unless you're going to a builder that has
an architect
that has or already has a set of plans that you can choose
absolutely
from.
Absolutely.
But there has to be an incredible amount of specificity so that they know where everything is going to be, because you can't just say, I want a big house.
Right.
Or, I want a medium-sized house.
Right.
You're going to have to give that builder, he has to have some direction.
He has to have, like Yolanda said, this big word she used, specificity.
Yes.
Remember, Justin wanted us to keep the word simple.
Oh, okay. So it has to be really clear.
It has to be clear, right? So there has to be clarity around what you want in the house. What do you want outside of the house? What you want inside of the house? What you want in each room,
the type of materials that you
want, the flooring,
the number of rooms that you want, the number of bedrooms you want, the number of bathrooms you want. For me, it was all about storage. I mean, I wanted lots and lots of storage, and I do have lots of. And Oliver kept saying, "Why you need some more storage?" She
needs more storage, guys. I mean, she's run out of storage. Hey, we had 3 kids in here, 4 bedrooms. And now I'm
in every closet.
And now it's just her and I
in every bedroom.
She got it all.
I should have had it all to start with.
Well, but anyway,
I didn't go into anyone's closet in their bedroom until after they were set up. That's this was after college, after they were set up and in their own place. I did not displace anyone or anyone's things.
So
once their things were moved out, their closets were lonely. I put some stuff in there.
So when spring gets here, we're gonna have one of the biggest yard sales.
We've never had a yard sale. We always give stuff away. We've never had a yard sale.
In the entire neighborhood. They will never have experienced a yard sale like this.
We're gonna have a yard sale. We've never done a yard sale. We're not having a yard sale.
It's just a hope and dream for me.
Oh, a hope and dream.
But anyway,
get specific with it, dear.
So now the architect has taken what was in the mind, the idea, and put it on paper. Now we got a blueprint, and then the blueprint goes to the builder. And the builder looks at the blueprint, and then he looks at the land, and he says, there has to be some There has to be some clearing of this land. There has to be some
clearing and some grading.
Some grading. In other words, the land has to be prepared in order for them to build that particular house on the land. Mm-hmm. Likewise, in your life, there are results and we've talked about this. There are results in your life right now that you're not happy with. There are longings in your life, and there are things in your life. I have discontents too. Yolanda still does too. I mean, everything ain't the way we exactly want it to be, right? But we have an image of what it looks like.
Yes.
And we talked about those 6 areas in your life, core areas where you can look at them, do an assessment on them, and decide what would you love in each one of those areas. Can we name those 6 areas? Yes. For those that may be here with us the first time?
Yes.
So all of us have relationships in our life. So one of the main areas, core areas, is relationships.
Health and well-being.
Health and well-being. Time and money freedom.
Job, vocation.
Service.
And spiritual awareness.
These 6 core areas, and they're not all the areas, but
these are the 6 that and the reason we did that is because it basically covers most everything
in your life. Yeah, most anything in your life that you can desire, you can put it in one of those 6 categories. And so what in this process of transformation and system of transformation that we are sharing with you guys in these broadcasts, and what we do on our vision workshops, and what you hear us talking about all the time is a repeatable, proven um, program that can be learned and then implemented in your life as a structural way to make effective change in your life.
Yes. Because once the builder has those plans, has the blueprints, that is how the builder decides on everything.
Yes.
So he doesn't just, well, he wouldn't be my builder if he looked at the blueprints and he said, you know what? Okay, okay. So he starts to build some stuff, and then he's like, you know what? I think I'm going to do this right over here. And so he just hauls off and changes everything. No. Well, we actually know a guy that did landscaping. He did hardscapes, and the homeowners had talked with him, and they had, he had actually drawn up the plans for their hardscapes, and it was beautiful. And so he was going to show it to us, and so he brought the plans over. And he was just going on and on. I was like, wow, that is really neat. And I said, well, what is this over here? He said, oh, those are the plans that the homeowner decided on. I said, well, what are these plans? He said, well, this is what I'm going to do. He said, because their land really demands that it has this. And I was like, you can't just change that. He was like, yeah, once I put it in, he said, what are they going to do? Tell me to just get all that concrete and all that brick and stuff up. He was like, no, they're not going to do. Listen, guys, he had to leave the area. He had to leave the area because the homeowners had already decided what they wanted, and he decided to do whatever he wanted. So there was a huge problem.
Huge problem.
He had to leave the area.
So now once that builder gets the plans, and now at that moment we're looking at the plans, and then we're thinking about the end product, what it's going to look like when it's finished. And so there's a huge gap between plans, lands, and finished product.
That's right.
And within that gap,
because even when you're standing there looking at the raw material, it doesn't look like what's
on the blueprint. Yeah. It really is. It's just a lot of pieces, a lot of materials, different forms.
But that blueprint actually helps them to decide everything that they need.
Everything. So without a blueprint in our life, if we don't really know what we would love, how would we even begin to take the next step? That's why it's so important. That's why we've spent so much time. We probably spent the first 25, 26 episodes talking about blueprinting and establishing that first things first has to be, what would you love? Do you know what you really would love? And getting in touch with your creativity through your imagination, and getting in touch with your heart and desires, and asking yourself, what would you love, without any restriction, without knowing how. We want you to put the why and the how on hold. Just getting involved with using your mental faculty of imagination, your desires, and creating a blueprint for your life.
I was going through looking at some quotes that I have, and I read this one and I thought, wow, this is phenomenal. Steve Jobs said this. He said, for the past 33 years, I have looked in the mirror every morning and asked myself, quote, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I am about to do today? And whenever the answer has been no for too many days in a row, I know I need to change something. Steve Jobs. So everyone, a lot of us think that we don't have a choice, but actually we all have a choice.
That's the number one thing that we do have is the ability to choose, and even to choose again
that's the great thing about it is if we make a choice and it's not what it's not what we want.
We can
It's
always,
not what's serving us now.
yes,
Because we made that choice, then that should give us the confidence to know we can choose again.
choose again.
So
And-
we can make another choice.
yes, absolutely. Well, this is a good place to pause for a minute because we do have to,
It's already down there.
yes, it is. We do have to pay our bills. So watch this.
Pay our what?
Pay our bills. So watch this.
Oh my
Would
God.
you look at the time? It's tax time. You already know H&R Block does taxes, but here's what you may not know when you file with H&R Block, like how you can get expert help in person or virtually. Plus, our tax pros average 10 years of experience. You can even request to work with the same tax pro every year, and your biggest possible refund is always guaranteed. No one offers more ways to help with your taxes than H&R Block. At H&R Block, help is here.
All right, and thank you. And yes, H&R Block and Durham office. Chris Wilson is the owner, and he provides tax preparation and audit support, business taxes, payroll services, bookkeeping, notary services, and so much more. Check him out. Thank you so much. Now, go back to your comments.
You didn't put my
There you
didn't
go.
put me
All
back.
right. So
So you guys, those of you that are on frequently, you'll know that Chris was on. He was a guest of ours
yes,
and spent a Friday night with us, giving us great information about our taxes and
yes, and investing and retirement guidance. So he's going to be back on.
yep, he had such a great time. He wants to come back.
He's going
and
to be
share with
back
you
on
guys,
the
so.
main platform here, and also he's going to be having some backstage times with our patrons.
With our
too.
patrons.
So patrons, you get to
Yeah.
spend some direct time with him to ask some direct questions. All right. So once we have a vision for wellness, since we're focusing on wellness this first part of the year, the next step is to take an assessment of our current results, identify the blocks to wellness, and then we have identified that the block to wellness, as well as everything, is what is our thinking. When it really gets down to brass tacks,
Yep.
what really blocks us from growing, expanding, experiencing our best self is our thinking. I mean, regardless of which area, which one of those 6 areas we're talking about, the results that we presently have is a direct result
direct reflection
of the way
our
we've been thinking.
thinking,
Right. It's a
yes.
direct reflection of why we're thinking, because we cannot live beyond the level of our thinking.
So if we don't like the results that we have now, then we can change our thinking and change our lives.
We can change our thinking and change our life.
Yeah.
And because our thoughts, see, everything begins with our thought life. I mean, that's just really where life is. That's why there's such a battle for our minds. That's why there's such a there seems to be such a demand for our attention.
Oh,
There's
yes.
so much in the world that's demanding our attention. I mean, there are so many distractions
Yes.
and
Dissuasions.
dissuasions and
Disruptions.
and even crises come up sometimes just to get
Crises,
our
yeah.
attention. Why? Because we're the ones with the energy. We're the one with the power. We're the one with the energy. And a thought without energy is just a thought. It just floats in the air like a cloud. Nothing happens. But the moment one human being decide to give energy to a thought, that thought had the potential to come alive, good or bad, because the energy is not going to decide whether it's a good thought or a bad thought, whether it brings it forth. No, all the energy knows is it just supplies what? It supplies the energy to the thought. And then thoughts, then we understand from what the process that thoughts leads to how we think, leads to how we perceive, meaning how we interpret things. So our thoughts will influence our perceptions, and then our perceptions will influence what? How we act.
Yeah.
Okay, so it starts with a thought, and then it
forms our
perception, influences our actions, and then our actions
lead to our results.
Our actions creates the results that we've had in our life. And that's just this basic concept of how things go from birth unto manifestation.
Because we all know, I mean, we say this, we've said this from the very beginning too. Everything begins with thought and then the form.
Yes, that's a transformational principle we teach.
In blue, yeah.
That's right. Everything is created twice, first in thought, then in what? Then in form. Everything. Just look around you. Everything you see was first an idea in the mind of someone, and that thought became a thing. And so we use those principles in what we call blueprinting or designing a life that you would love. So this is really at the core of what we do as a personal development company. We help teach individuals or groups or companies, how to get results that matter to them. And there's a systematic transformational way of doing it. And once you learn that system of transformation, you can now become a designer of your life versus living by what we call default. All right. So moving on, we got a few more minutes. How are we on time? We have a few more minutes. And we did more reviewing than anything, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, tonight we wanted to still talk about the area of bridging. How do we collapse the time between the life that you love, that you have designed, that you have blueprinted, and the actual experience of that? How do we now navigate the gap? These are the results I have now. These are the results that I desire. How do I navigate the gap? And there are principles that we teach that you can learn in order to navigate those. And last week we talked about.
I have to do a shout out to my bestie is on. Hello, Sheila. She said, "Hi, fam. So how do I change the way I think? What must I do?"
What must she do to change the way she thinks?
Yes.
Well,
and Sandra, we're going to send you we'll send you a personal message.
Yeah. Well, our thinking is generally a result of our conditioning. Mm-hmm. And when I say conditioning, what you've been exposed to. So, because what we've been exposed to is will become a part of our what we call subconscious, become a part of our paradigms. So, for example, as we all grew up from an infant, when we all came here, primarily the first 2 years of our life, we're almost like a empty slate or a clean slate, right? Would you say? And we really have no past experience, right, about the world in order to, know what things are about. So we learn things based on, we get conditioned about the world based on how we're taught. And most of that comes from our parenting, right? Our parents.
So I didn't say anything because we've had this conversation many times before.
Yeah, we've had it.
And my thing is, we don't come here as empty slates. We come here knowing everything.
Well,
and we unlearn everything that
is to know is already within us,
yeah.
but we're just not aware of it.
Yes.
So you asked the question, how do we change our way of thinking? We change our way of thinking by exposing ourselves to information, inspiration, truth that help shape the way we think. Because we think the way we think because we've been conditioned to think in a certain way. And we've been conditioned to think in a certain way based on what we've been exposed to. So when you only been exposed to the ideas that may be born in birthed out of the idea of scarcity or lack or fear or judgment or separation, or if your only awareness of yourself is a body identification, and if that's just the limited exposure that you've had in life, then it is that conditioning, those exposures, that creates your thinking. So in order to change or exchange what you know now for something that is better, there has to be a realization
of something that is more expansive.
more expansive.
Something that is more in line with what your heart is
Right,
desiring.
right. Because within our nature, there's this
There's this pull.
there's this pull
Yeah.
for more. There's this pull for expression, for expansion. There's this desire in us to want to express ourselves, to want to experience life at its fullest. Life is calling us to the more, and so it's out of that your own nature that there's a desire for growth. And so out of that desire for growth, we begin to search for information, inspiration that will create a greater awareness within us,
Yes.
right? And so as we now evolve in your life, you become more exposed to things out of your desire for growth and expansion. And so when these things are presented to you, you still have to make a decision
Yes.
to be on your growing edge. And a lot of time we won't make those exchanges because in order for us to engage, we have to go beyond what we've known. And that's where the idea of paradigms come in, because we fear that which we don't know. But at some point we have to deal with the fear and what, because always just on the other side of what is perceived to be fearful is your expansion,
Yes.
is your new thoughts, your new way of seeing, your new way of being, just beyond that which you have known.
Yeah.
And that's part of the gap that has to be
navigated
and compressed when anytime you are starting out or venturing out to do something different, to do something new and expansive. We get to certain stages in our life and our old life just don't satisfy us anymore. We have a desire for more joy, more excitement, more learning. There's something in us that's like grow. It's like this like there's you ever seen a piece of grass that grows up through a piece of cement? Why? Because life is designed for growth. The nature of life is to grow. The nature of the human being, the human mind is what? To grow and to expand. And when we're not in a growing mode, then it's almost life is turning on us because we're designed to grow. And when we're stuck in a place and, not really allowing all these mental and psychological faculties that we have to use them to express who we are, then there is a discontent that settles in on us.
Yes.
And it's out of those discontents a lot of time that it gives us motivation to move forward and to be open for new possibilities in our life.
Because all of us have access to the same infinite possibilities.
Right.
It's not just for some. And here is a truth. And so this is what I always everything that happens with me, I always stand it next to truth, because so the facts of our life, which are the experiences of our life, that's not the truth of our essence. Who we are, who we have been made and created to be, that never changes. It doesn't matter what experiences we have.
That's right.
But we think that some of the experiences that we've had disqualify us from being who we are, and that never happens.
Right.
So we are who we are, and that never changes.
Right.
And who we are is everything.
Yeah.
Because we are, and it is our oneness with the creator. It is our oneness with Source that binds us all together, but it also connects us to that infinity.
Yes.
And the infinite is everywhere present all the time.
Yes.
So
yes,
within us is the knowing that there is so much more for us.
So much more.
And it is our thinking that keeps us in this small place.
That's right.
Fear is only the edge of where we've already been.
Say it, baby.
Fear is only the edge of where we've always been. A lot of us have experienced being fearful because we think we're going to fail. Well, failure is just feedback.
Yes.
And when we have that perspective, that when it doesn't work, you don't fall if you're not trying. So if you're trying, then you're learning. And as long as you're learning, this is it's a good and phenomenal thing. So our thinking is what helps us. Well, our exposure to other things is what's going to help us with changing our thinking. And here is the difficult part. We become very loyal to that which we already know.
Yes.
And we'll stay with what we know, even when we know it doesn't serve our best interest.
Yes. Yes. We call that being loyal to our paradigms.
Yes.
And we will fight for our paradigms. But
we bargain with them.
Yes.
We we do all kinds of things with,
yes.
with those, and knowing that it's not working for us.
Yes.
Knowing that it's not working.
And paradigms are basically habits and patterns that we've developed, even that's still with us, that's in our subconscious, and they've been there for years. And those are the things that's really running us, but we're not conscious of them. For instance, you grew up in a family where there was a scarcity mentality taught to the children, meaning there was never enough, or statements like money don't grow on trees, or so although that conditioning gets buried into our subconscious, and so we could it's still with us at age 50, 60. So and so we don't see ourselves living an abundant, prosperous life because we're still influenced by those subconscious patterns and habits that were conditioned in us.
Yes.
And those are called paradigms. And anytime you seek to move forward in your life to change your results, you got to face your paradigm because they're going to come up. And so how are you going to navigate them? We're going to get into that next week, how you navigate your paradigms. But Sheila, I think we answered your question. Look,
Thank you so much for asking that.
All you have to do is look historically.
Yes.
Look historically. Look at the people that have achieved in their life beyond what they could imagine. Most of these people failed miserably before they experienced success. Failed miserably. But they didn't allow their failure to keep them from moving forward. But you also, if you would interview those who have had success in life, which is what Napoleon Hill did. For 20 years, he interviewed the top 100 millionaires in the United States, and then he wrote the book Think and Grow Rich, which he accumulated all of what he learned from those people that were successful. And all those people that were successful through the process had to change the way they were thinking, because the way they were thinking did not get them the results they wanted. And so they had to be open for new information, new learning. And it comes in many different forms. Books.
Yes.
You get mentors in your life, coaches in your life, books. It comes in the form of books, or you can go, we got the internet.
Yeah.
There's so much information out there. And then, you may be scrolling through your Facebook page or YouTube channel on Friday nights at 7:00, and you see, Oliver and Yaulanda sitting there talking about transformation and growth and blueprinting and bridging, and you might just stop and say, what are they talking about? And it comes in that form. So if you have a desire to grow and expand and up-level your thinking, all you have to do is have the desire.
And then there are so many other things that you can. She said, "What do I do?" There's a lot of things that you can do.
A lot of them.
Like for me, I use my calendar. I use my phone, and I put in different information. Like, for instance, I have this quote that I wrote down, but I don't remember who said this because I have question marks behind it. But they said, "Don't settle for dying safely. Dare greatly." I love that.
Yeah.
So whatever, and see, we all have to identify the language that speaks to us.
Right.
The language that helps us to grow.
Right.
Whatever. And then when you find that language, then then you seek those resources that are going to help
That's
you.
right.
Yeah.
Because this world is so full of great information,
Yeah.
great awareness, principles. I mean, there's so many teachers out here now. There's so many ways that you can begin to up level your thinking, but you have to have a willingness to grow.
Yes.
And to study. It takes study. It takes work to change the operating system that's in your mind. And many of you out there, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. It takes, because we inherit years of this conditioning, and then we can't think that the reconditioning going to happen, in a year or 2 years or even 3 years
or in 2 weeks.
No, it takes a tremendous amount of work to transform.
But there are two questions that we can ask ourselves whenever we are confronted with or we are exposed to something new, and we have this huge reaction in our conscience, in our subconscious. What is it that makes me feel that discomfort? What is it that makes me resist when I hear something that challenges what I've always known? I remember, and I'm gonna tell this quick story. I remember when we were in a church, and we'd been hearing information all throughout our lives, but I had always had questions. There were just things that just never made any sense to me. And once I started reading the Bible and studying it, it just really just did not make any sense to me. And I remember there was this one time when we were in a Bible study, and they were reading the scripture about how in the Old Testament a husband could put his wife away, meaning he could have divorce. He could divorce his wife if she did not give him a male seed. Well, I remember when I also read in the scientific books that now we know that a female cannot give a male seed. Only a man can give a male seed. So a man is the only one that can do that. But yet women were divorced because that did not happen. And I remember when I read that in the scientific book and I was reading the thing in the Bible, I was like, okay, so what else may not be correct? And so instead of me saying, oh, no, I wanted to investigate to see, because what I want to do is I want to know what the truth is.
Yes.
So, when it is that we want to grow, when we even make that awareness in ourselves, then what happens is our energy actually brings that stuff to us.
It'll draw it to you. You get into a growing vibration that you want to grow, and you design growth. It's amazing how you draw these resources to you for that area. That's why it's so important for you to identify what would you love.
So that's the second question. So the first question I said was, okay, what is it that's making me resist so strongly? What is causing this
resistance?
Huge reaction in me? Because the next question is the question that is of so much importance, and that is, what would I love? What is going to make me alive and happy and expansive, and just make me want to get up and do this every day? Because once you know what that is, then you certainly can navigate. It helps you to say yes, your yes to be a strong yes, and your no's to be a strong no.
Right. Because how can you hit a target you do not have?
Jill said, get busy living. I'm gonna put that up. That's a good one. Jill said, get busy living or get busy dying.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. Because one or the others happen. Either we are growing, or we're deteriorating. It's no middle ground. It's no standing still. We're either growing or we're going in reverse. And we know when we're doing both. I prefer to grow.
Yeah, I do too.
And that's why we're here. We're all about growth. And thank you so much. But we're gonna have to end this.
Yeah,
my God.
We're over.
And I just threw my notes over my head because we never did get into the
Which
notes.
is okay.
This is okay.
Hello, Pamela Glover. She's joining
Pamela.
late. Pam, we're going to actually re-air the live at 9 o'clock.
Yes, this show will be re-aired on the same digital platforms at 9 o'clock tonight if you want to watch it again.
And then you can always
Catch the replay.
You can always check. All the replays are on YouTube at Truly OB. And even when you look at a replay, by all means, go in and like.
Yes.
And if you subscribe, then you'll get a notification every time.
Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We appreciate it because we're going to be moving our live show in a couple of weeks to YouTube only, right? Is that correct?
I don't think so.
We're going to be on YouTube only on the live. Okay, so we need to move forward. Just a few announcements. Next week, you don't want to miss that show. Why? Because we have a guest. His name is Jeff, and Jeff is a master yoga and mindfulness coach, and he's going to be with us. And
Friday the 18th.
Friday, next Friday at 7 o'clock.
Yes.
And he's going to be demonstrating some yoga shapes that you can be able to practice in order to work out some kinks you might have in your armor. Okay. So you can bring your yoga mat. He's going to actually have one of his students demonstrating a few yoga shapes for us. So you don't want to miss that. He's a great teacher also. And then on March 4th, we're going to have Corinne Zupko. Corinne is a counselor, coach, mindfulness instructor, and a student of A Course in Miracles. And she wrote a New York Times bestseller called From Anxiety to Love. From Anxiety to Love. And we're going to interview Corinne.
She's going to be joining with us and sharing some things that she has learned, which should be, our goal is to make certain that we're helpful, and we want to make certain we're addressing every area. So that's going to be a great one.
Yeah. And then in April, we're going to have some fun. We're going to have a comedian with us, and it's going to be clean, y'all. It's going to be clean. So come on and join us.
I don't even know where that came from.
In April. Okay. And also we're going to have a panel of millennials on, I think in May. Yeah. We're going to have a panel of millennials between 25 and 35, I believe. A panel of them, maybe 5 or 6. They're going to come. They're going to be live on our show, and we're going to get to look into their work. That's going to be exciting. So we got some exciting things planned for this year. We got pastors coming. We got Christian mystics coming.
We have a number of people who've said yes, and so but we still have to work out details.
Got to work out.
Oliver kind of jumps ahead and throws it out there before we even have the details done.
I love it. So we're going to go ahead and end the broadcast. Thank you so much for being with us. And we always like to end our broadcast with the loving kindness meditation by the Dalai Lama,
which we do as a blessing. So we bless all who join with us and those that you hold dear in your heart.
So may you be truly happy.
May you live in peace.
May you live in love.
May you know the power of forgiveness.
And may you live in the recognition that your life has deep meaning and good purpose.
That's the Dalai Lama. And then we add, may you live in the awareness of who you truly are. We extend this blessing to every being that's on the planet. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Oh, wow. Where did the time go? Thank you so much. And we're going to take you out of here with, see what we're going to take them out with tonight. What do you want to do? It's been such a good good episode. So we're going to give them something good to go out with. What do you think?
Okay.
All right. So we are hoping everyone take the time on tomorrow and watch the Super Bowl, and hopefully your team wins.
That's not tomorrow.
That is tomorrow.
That's Sunday.
That is Friday. Sunday. Today is Friday, right?
Yeah. You don't have it already queued up?
I don't have it queued up.
You should just tell the people bye.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, until next week, my name is Oliver.
I'm Yaulanda.
And we are the OK Blues. Bye-bye.